there's an instinctive path that the human mind can follow, to come to know who God is and understand, all kinds of stuff about God and then be able to speak their name. And the thing is, you can, when it comes to an element of eternal consciousness, God, they existed for an actual eternity before this reality existed, because before this reality existed, they existed alone in the realm of eternity, basically forever. And they've been the same person they've always been, They had a name back then, Their name is the same then and it is now. And everything about them is the same then as it is now, And to be able to speak the name of an element of eternal consciousness that existed before human words and, other human emotions needed for survival on this planet, they'd be the same that they were, before all this other stuff existed, And to say the name of an element of eternal consciousness, you use your consciousness to speak their name. And of course, nobody can hear you say their name, but you can. And that's what's important. And it's a path in life that leads to knowing the name of God. And yes, I say God, but my definition of God is an element of eternal consciousness that exists, kind of like the element of water exists, but before this reality existed. In the realm of eternity, forever, consciousness, an element of consciousness. Anyways, it's a path in life. You could try all you want to speak God's name with the word, but a human word, but the truth of the matter is, they existed before human words existed, so their name is before human words. Existed before human words, it's just the way it is. And to say their name, you gotta use your consciousness, because that's what they are. They're consciousness, they're conscious energy. And they've existed for eternity, so to say their name, use your consciousness, not your words. Might be a little hard to understand, but there's an instinctive path in life that, leads to this type of knowledge. And it's real simple. Just observe everything God created on this planet, and from these observations, you'll gain the exact same understandings that, all conscious life gains when they observe God's creation, This will naturally strengthen your mind, and you'll be able to, have a thought of eternity and who's there. In any case, it's the most powerful word that exists. The name of God. It took me 42 years to figure it out. To actually have the thought, the eternal thought of who that is, Their name. That's God's name. You can speak God's name with your consciousness. You should try it out. It's good for prayer, Like people pray a lot, and it's good to know who you're praying to. A lot of religious people nowadays say that God has a human name and God has human characteristics needed for survival on this planet, even though they existed prior to this reality existing, so they wouldn't need characteristics needed for survival on this planet, like anger and hate. Love, yes, for the self, Self-love. I can see that in eternity, But anger over what? It's just them there for all of eternity. Why would they have anger, If they didn't have anger in eternity, they're not going to have it now. But anyways, yeah. Spend your whole life, studying God's creation. Their words are in their creation. They're element of consciousness. So when you get, conscious thoughts from observations and you get this conscious understanding in your head, that's their words, okay? That's their words. You got to understand who God is, God doesn't, books are inspired by the Word of God, but they're not the Word of God. God's an element of conscious thought. Remember that. When you say their name, and I don't know, I feel like it's a really important word, It just sucks that I can't speak their name with my mouth. I can speak it with my consciousness, but I can't speak it with my mouth. Kind of sucks, not being able to say it out loud for others to hear, but hey, I can hear it, when I say God's name with my consciousness. And since God is an element of eternal consciousness, when you say their name, it's not like a short name, It's not like it's over. You say it and it's over. It's like you say it and you keep saying it, for eternity. Because they've existed for an actual eternity before this reality existed, Because there's no such thing as the beginning of eternity. So they've been an element of consciousness for an eternity, You got to say their name right. You got to understand who they are, the complete thought of who they are, that's their name. That conscious thought's their name. So realize that.